Hey, how you doing? I hope you're having a great day. Okay, so this video is very interesting for me to make. A week ago from today, I was in a bad place. The past year now, for over a year, it's been a struggle. A real struggle. I've had some really bad days. Then I've had some days where I had a lot of hope. Then it looked to me like things were going great, and then they would go bad again. I realized that, I realized I was doing something wrong. And that was the fact that I was just being way too negative. And I kept telling myself, maybe that's the problem. Because I feel like I have so much bad luck. Everything goes wrong. 2012, my former best friend who I had known my whole life, stabbed me in the back. He cost me my job. I got really sick. Really sick. I don't even know what it was, but my voice was gone for a while. I had fluid in my lungs. I had fevers that had reached 106. And I was sick for about 7 months. I wear this hat because the illness, it wreaked havoc on my body. I kept gaining and losing weight. I started losing my hair. And that's why I wear the hat. My hair is starting to grow back, so maybe when it finally returns, I won't have to wear the hat anymore. But this illness seems to be gone now, finally. But, it was horrible. And the weight was really bothersome for me because a year ago I lost 35 pounds, and I was so proud of that. And I felt great. And then to gain weight again for no reason at all, that really bothered me. But I'm losing a lot of weight. I've probably lost now anywhere between 15 to 20 pounds in the past few weeks, so I'm returning. But this whole video is not about that. It's about being positive. I started to think that maybe the reason why everything keeps going wrong and why it looks like things will start to get great. Like when I got involved in online marketing, I was making sales and everything, and I thought, oh, this is the answer. And then things went bad again. And then things got good again, and then went bad again. Nothing could stay consistent. And then I don't ride a wave of positivity. I just don't. I keep thinking, oh, it's going to get bad again. Something's going to go wrong. And then I have bad days where I'm so depressed I can't get out of bed, or days where the depression is so bad it weakens me. And this is absolutely true. I can barely walk. I have to hold onto the walls just to get to the kitchen, as I have no strength. That's how bad the depression gets. So a week ago, I just got tired of it. I had a business, I still have this business, where I build lanterns. And when I started the business, nobody else was doing it. These lanterns are kerosene lanterns that I converted into electric. And when I originally wanted one for myself, and I couldn't find one. And I thought, wow, that's weird that nobody would make something like this. So I made it myself. And when things at my job got bad, I decided to make it my own business. And I was doing pretty well with that. And over the past few months, it started growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was consistently selling about seven lanterns a week, at minimum. And it was getting close to being part-time pay. So I thought that was great because these lanterns, I only spend a couple days to build them. I box them up, and then it's just basically shipping. So to me, that is a huge success right there. Because I'm not spending a lot of hours doing it, and yet I'm making part-time pay with it. So suddenly the business just crashed. I don't know why. It just stopped. I mean, it was amazing to see, every week going up, and then just boom, crashed. So I got really negative about it. I didn't understand. Instead of just thinking maybe it's just a lull, it's summertime, maybe this happens around this time of the year. When I think about last year when I started the business, which was around this time, things got off to a slow start. And then suddenly when the fall came along, I couldn't even keep the stuff in stock. So maybe that was it. But instead of thinking that way, I just became negative. And I thought, oh, that's the end of that now. That's it. My story's over. I became angry and miserable and depressed again. And I just had enough. So a week ago, I told myself I can't live this way anymore. I just can't. Maybe my problem is that I am too negative. You know, maybe if I'm positive and I fight hard to think better about things, and when things go wrong and go bad, to not just, you know, get angry about it so quickly and be negative about it. You know, I know this is going to sound bizarre, but and if it does, you know, whatever. I don't care. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. I believe when you are full of negative energy, it comes out of you and gets into the atmosphere and the air all around you. You know, it is a scientific fact we are made up of energy. And I think of it like those, you know, I believe you call them an ion machine. You know, it's a machine you put in a house and it'll charge the air. I'm probably saying this wrong. I've never really looked much into those things, but it sends out like, you know, it charges the air, makes the air better. So I believe humans have that ability. And a good example is if you ever walked into a house and it felt bad, and I'm not saying an empty house, I mean you go in to visit someone and you feel the air is heavy, and that's when you realize that there must have been a bad fight there a few minutes ago. And it was. You find out that there was a big argument going on. You can feel it. Well, I believe that's what happens. When you're negative all the time, you put that out there, and it affects your life. You know, I almost have a feeling that, you know, people who may come around you, even though they don't know you, they'll feel it. And when they feel it, they want to run the other way. And I believe that works in the universe, you know, with everything. You know, I kind of think of it as the ghost in the machine. You know, if you're working from home, for example, and you're having a hard time and you're negative, it's almost like your energy just gets into the system, you know, and you've created this monster, and now it's wreaking havoc on everything you're doing. So, a week ago I told myself, this week you're going to change your life. You know, this week you're going to finally get things to work in your favor. That's easier said than done. You know, trying to be positive and stay that way is extremely difficult. But I can tell you that it has been a full week now, and I am so much better today than I was a week ago. I feel better. I feel calmer. I feel normal for the first time since May of 2012. I feel like I'm getting control over my life again. And what adds to that is activity started to pick up with my lantern shop again after I decided to stay this way. Over the weekend, I started to see things happen. Then, right after I made the decision to be more positive, I received an email from an online marketing guru, and he had a big announcement, so he was talking about the announcement for the next day. I went, you know, opened up the email, went to the website, and found a new system that it's huge. You know, let's just put it this way. It made me super excited. It gave me hope that this here was going to outdo everything else that I've been doing. That this was the answer. It had everything right. And I was right. I had people starting to pour in within minutes of setting it up. The whole point of this is being positive works. In that time, the past week, I feel good, I feel hopeful, I feel like I'm thinking better. You know, I was selling a product on a free website that I created. It's a free website I built, I didn't have to pay for it, didn't have to pay for hosting, and it's a cheap product. And I was making sales every day, but not a lot. And then I just suddenly, today as a matter of fact, something came to me. And it was about putting a video on this webpage. So I made the video, and I did it really quickly. I was kind of surprised. And already sales are coming in. You know, I think it's going to make a huge difference. But that's what happens with being positive. Your mind opens up. Everything around you seems better. Everything feels better. And if you're struggling in anything you do, take a look at your life. Maybe the negativity is hurting you. And the more you're positive, the better it'll be. And let me tell you before I go. Between the time I was 16 to 18, my family life, things were really bad. We were losing our home. You know, life was very stressful. And then, in the middle of that, I created my own TV show. And that was doing really well. Now, it was difficult. It was a struggle to do the show because we had never done a show before. We didn't know what we were doing. But the show became a hit, and I was happy. And I was positive all the time. And that rubbed off on the people around me. They liked to be around me because of how positive I was. You know, I hope that helped you. If you're in that same situation, you know, you could change it. And I know it's hard. It really is, but you can absolutely change it. I'm living proof. And if you knew me, you would know how super negative I was and how miserable I was. So if I can do it, you can do it. I'll see you next time.
Today is the day you change your fate. Today is the day you make your dreams come true. Work when you want. Work where you want. Work in the hours you choose. And live a life of true freedom. Simple to learn, simple to do, and the potential to earn hundreds daily. The time is now for you to control your own destiny. Dreambigger.us. Stop dreaming and start earning today.